Hi, Bori Shirani here with Restore Revive 360, and in this video I would like to show you guys the 90-90 supine basics and variations. So you're going to need a ball, you're going to need a wall, and you're going to need a floor mat. Instead of the wall, you can use a coffee table or anything where you can put your feet up on top of it. Okay, so setup position will be a 90-90, the 90 degrees being here at my hip and then the other 90 being here at my knee, okay? And my feet goes on the wall, and that's gonna stay flat on the wall the whole time. Toes are pointing up, and my toes and my feet, knees and hips are aligned. So like I'm not spreading my legs too wide out. I don't let my knee fall out. My feet are kind of like hip width apart. Everything is aligned. The ball is going between my knees. I'm not gonna squeeze too much, but I just want those adductors to turn on a little bit. So we're just gonna hold that ball there. And then step number one, the basics. This is the setup, 90 degrees, feet on the wall. With my feet, with my heels, I'm gonna drag down. I'm gonna try to slide my heel down on the wall. I'm not pushing the wall away. I'm gonna come downwards, okay? So my pressure is going this way with my heels. Okay, and then this is how you can do it on a coffee table. That helps a little bit, so you're not pushing the wall away for sure. You're gonna drag down, you're gonna have to like push down with your heels. Okay, so basics. What I want to see is that you're gonna inhale. On the exhale, you're gonna apply the pressure. You're gonna try to drag your heels down. That's gonna turn on your hamstrings a little bit. And on the exhale, I want this tiny little posterior pelvic tilt, like a little bit of the tilt. I just want to pick up the edge of my tailbone, like the very end of it. I just want to pick it right off the ground, just a little bit. I'm not pushing the wall away. If you feel quads, then you're gonna have to drag more. So I'm dragging my heels down. Feet are staying in contact with the wall at all times. And I'm just picking that tailbone off the mat, just a little bit. I'm not picking my hips up. I'm not leaving the ground at all. My lower back is flat on the ground. I have contact, lower back, top of my hips, upper back, shoulders. I have full contact on the ground, dragging my heels down, holding this ball. And those are the things that I want you to pay attention to. Heels down, hamstrings on, adductors on, lower back flat on the ground, ribs are not flying away, okay? And you're just gonna breathe here for 3 minutes. That would be step number one. Every exhale, you can breathe out a little bit more. Heels, hamstrings, adductors, just lay here for 3 minutes. See if you feel more pressure one side or the other. You feel more your right or left lower back, hips. Do you feel more one hamstring or the other? Do you feel anything else? We're trying to get these hamstrings to work a little bit. So we're just gonna hang out here. I don't want you to feel too much anything else. Like if you feel like you're pushing too hard, you're dragging too hard, you're working too hard, this is an easy exercise. It should be like 15% of effort. Like it's not a strength exercise. I want you to feel those things more than anything. So heels are dragging down. I can feel hamstring. It's gonna take a little bit, especially at the beginning, to feel those hamstrings. Feeling hamstrings, you can give yourself some kinesthetic awareness. So you can start like rubbing your hamstrings a little bit or tapping them. That helps a little bit to feel them. Check in with everywhere else, like where else do you feel tension? Do you feel tension in your lower leg? Do you feel tension in your quads? If you feel tension in your quads, that means that you're pushing the wall away, and I just want you to drag down. So at that point, you're gonna have to stop pushing, reset maybe. Lower abs can turn on a little bit. Hamstrings, again, we're gonna keep checking in. Whatever you're feeling, hamstrings, adductors, just squeezing the ball a little bit. lower back flat on the ground, and I'm just peeling that tailbone off the ground. And you're gonna hang here for 3 minutes. Once you're done, again, you're gonna slowly lower everything down and just check in with yourself. Like, what do you feel? Do you feel hamstrings? What else happened? Do you feel a shift? Sometimes for me, if I'm in kind of in a bad shape, then I definitely feel like after 3 minutes, a release in my SI joint, and they kind of like balance each other out. Like they like clump back and then like they release and just even out a little bit more. So you can feel a lot of things. What I want you to feel at all times, my heels are dragging down. So again, heels are dragging down, not pushing the wall away. Hamstring, adductors with the ball a little bit, lower back flat on the ground, lower belly, lower abdomen can turn on a little bit, and just chill there for a couple of minutes, okay? Try it out. Let me know how you feel. If you have any questions, let us know. You can find us at Restore Revive 360. And there's going to be future videos of the progression of this exercise, so check those out too. You might have to reset a couple of times, so try a harder one first and then come back to the basics, okay? Okay, variation number 1. So we did the basics, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go a little bit higher. So it's the same setup. I have my feet on the wall, parallel. My feet are parallel, pointing upwards, knees, hips are aligned, and I'm like just laying flat on the ground. I have a ball between my knees so I could keep my hips, like keep my knees like hip width apart. And then this is the basic setup, and we're going to go a little bit higher. So when I go up, inhale, exhale, I'm dragging the heels down, feeling hamstrings engage, feeling my lower belly engage. I'm doing this very little posterior pelvic tilt. I'm peeling off my tailbone off the ground. I'm squeezing the ball a little bit, not too much, and I'm just gonna keep lifting, one vertebrae by vertebrae. Doesn't have to go too high up. It's not a full bridge. I can go until I can keep this tilt and I can keep my hamstrings and not pushing the wall away. Once I start pushing and feeling quads, that's it. My quads are soft. I can feel a lot of hamstrings, a lot of adductors. And I'm just gonna hold that. Dragging down with the heels, not pushing the wall away. Keep breathing. Keep that posterior pelvic tilt. If you can go a little bit higher. Hold all of those things. Heels are dragging down, hamstrings are on, adductors are on, and I don't really need to go too far up high. You're gonna feel a lot of hamstrings if you're doing it right. And then slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, again, my lower abs are still on. I still have this posterior pelvic tilt. I'm still turning, tucking in under myself. And I slowly lower it, but I'm feeling my hamstrings. I'm letting go. I'm eccentrically loading those hamstrings when I come down. Very slowly. Lower abs are still on, still on, still on, still on. Lower it down all the way to the ground. And then you can untuck, release, drop in. Slowly pick it up. Hamstrings are on. I'm dragging my heels down on that wall. I'm holding the ball. And I go as far up as I can hold the posterior pelvic tilt. And I can feel hamstrings, glutes, adductors. And slowly lower it down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Keep breathing. One by one. I'm still holding this tilt, holding the tilt, holding the tilt, holding, hold, hold, hold. and then untuck once you're down there. Okay, so this would be progression number one. You would get up a little bit more from the ground, not just peeling your tailbone off, but actually lifting your hip up. I still want you to feel hamstrings, adductors, a little bit of the glutes, and then your lower belly needs to control that tuck and untuck first. Try it out, let me know. Okay, progression number two for the supine 90-90. So the basic setup is the same. Feet are on the wall. We're gonna drag down. Feet, knees, and hips are aligned. I'm in a 90-90 position. I have 90 degrees here and I have 90 degrees here. So next time, now we're gonna focus more on the left hamstring. I still have the ball between my legs, between my knees. So I'm gonna hold that. Same thing, the setup starts like that. Inhale. Exhale, drag those heels down, lower back flat on the ground. I feel a lot of hamstrings, both hamstrings. I peel my tailbone off the ground a little bit. My lower abs are on, these ones are on. My obliques are on. My back is flat on the ground. And I'm holding that with hamstrings. So now what I can do is I can slowly shift my hip and my weight towards my left side. So my left hamstring is holding a little bit more. I'm shifting my knee. So I'm like shooting my right knee towards the ceiling. I'm not pushing it into the wall. I'm pushing it up. So I'm trying to reach that right knee towards the ceiling. Yes, your hip will shift, your back will shift, and your weight should shift to that left leg. And I'm keep holding that ball. Now I'm going to slowly shift to the right side. I'm shifting my weight, reaching that left knee towards the ceiling. Left knee goes towards the ceiling, holding more with my right knee now, or my right leg. Feel right hamstring, right hamstring, right hamstring. Great. Slowly shift towards the left. And now you've felt both sides. See how different they feel? If you feel a difference. I'm still holding this posterior pelvic tilt. I never let that go. My lower back is still flat on the ground. You don't have to lift up too much. Just as much as you feel something working, you want to feel a lot of hamstrings, especially on the left side. You want to feel the left side more. Adductors are still on. I'm working with adductors both sides. So now we shifted the weight towards the left side. My right knee is going towards the ceiling. I'm shifting that, pushing that right knee towards the ceiling. I'm gonna feel a lot more hamstrings, a lot more adductors on this left side. And now what I can do is I can pick up this right leg a little bit and just hold my weight on that left side. I'm not pushing the wall away again. I'm not pushing it away. I'm dragging my heel down, lot of hamstrings. And I just keep like extending, tapping the wall a little bit, tapping with my right leg. Tap, tap, tap. Yep, just like that. And I'm gonna set it back down where it was before. Slowly shift back my weight to both sides. You should have felt a lot of left hamstring and a lot of left adductors, and lower it down slowly one by one. So that's progression number two. We want that left side. We want that shift into that left hip, left hamstrings, left adductors. We usually stronger on that right side, so it's going to be much easier to do it on the right, but we want you to shift into that left side, so we want to practice that a little bit more. And then, yes, try it out. Let me know how it goes.